comes to AI transforming enterprise knowledge management, I believe that we are past the buzz stage now, and we're into the part where real transformation is actually happening. Let me take you back just under a decade ago when I got my first client request to build an enterprise knowledge base. It was a large research institution full of smart people and data everywhere. The goal was simple in theory: make that internal knowledge searchable. What they wanted was basically to reduce duplication, cut down the time spent digging for old reports, and make it easier for new staff to onboard. We did our best with the tools available at the time, and we built structured repositories, layered in tagging systems, created some filters and folders, and it worked, kind of. But it was never intuitive. You had to know which words to search. You had to understand the taxonomy behind the system. And if you were new or less technical, you got lost quickly. So when I look at what's happening now, it feels like we finally arrived at the moment we were hoping for all those years ago. Every enterprise in every sector is facing the same problem: years of accumulated insight buried in folders, emails, PDF, Teams, Slack channels, and very little of it is accessible in the moments that actually matter. So, when we work with clients on this, we start by understanding the behavior around knowledge, not just where the information sits, but how people try to access it and where they get stuck. Discovery is always step one because the tech is meaningless if you don't know what the actual use case is. What kind of questions are people asking but not getting answers to? What's the cost of that delay or that duplication? That's where the real business case sits. Then we move into the data layer. This is where we gather the raw material: documents, emails, meeting notes, internal tools, and we start shaping it. We enrich it with metadata, classify it, and make sure it's clean, current, and mapped to the organization's structure. Because you already know that AI cannot reason with chaos. It needs signals, dates, authors, departments, versioning. That structure is what allows the AI to give meaningful responses later. And from there, we build the actual interface. And this is something a lot of projects get wrong. People think they're building a search tool, but what we are actually building is a knowledge assistant. So the interface has to feel like a conversation. You don't want your team typing in Boolean strings. You want them asking, "What's our latest thinking on this?" Or "Has anyone solved this issue before?" in natural language, and getting answers that are relevant, accurate, and ideally actionable. And then, of course, comes the tuning. No system is perfect out of the box. So we build in feedback loops. We allow users to say, "Yes, this was helpful," or "No, this missed the point." And we monitor patterns, what people are asking, where the gaps are, what's being surfaced too often or not at all. And over time, the system learns. And that's where it becomes truly valuable, not just a static resource, but a living layer of intelligence inside the business. Of course, all of this has to sit within a strong governance framework, especially in industries where there's regulatory exposure, where you need clear rules around who can see what, how answers are tracked, and where that data came from. People need to trust the system before they'll really use it. So, yes, we are seeing real transformation in this field, but it's not happening because someone bought a chatbot. It's happening in organizations that are willing to rethink how they capture, structure, and deliver knowledge. The AI just unlocks the final piece. The future of enterprise knowledge is not about search, it's about context. It's about getting the right answer for the right person at the right time and doing it in a way that feels seamless. That's where the game is changing. And the companies that get this right are not just going to move faster. They're going to outlearn, outdecide, and out execute the rest.